Yes, Leda can kill the Reaper and is added to the Hall of Fame along with Clerici, Toasty, Mortaccio and Christine. Well, and I guess for a very small amount of time also missing now. Since this is an entirely new thing, I will explain everything, but I highly advise you listen to it. Just a quick summary of why Leda is so good: 100% might bonus and negative 10% cooldown. Yes, that means he can actually kill the Reaper faster than Clerici does it with the Rune Tracer, but he doesn't use Rune Tracer. He uses an arcana called Slash. So before I do anything else, I would just say I get into the game, I explain what you have to do if you start the game, what you have to focus on after you started, and then I talk about the upsides and downsides. Play on Dairy Stage without Hyper Mode and without Hurry Mode. In the beginning, pick Walls of Pearls for the bouncing on Holy Wand, walk over here, and your goal is Empty Tome. Make sure that you already attack the enemies that get closer. You need a huge empty space without experience dropped. Reroll for Empty Tome, and if you don't get it, then just reset the run. By the way, unlock all 4 rerolls. On the very first level up, there are only active weapons, so no Empty Tome. And there we go. By the way, it's no problem if you use up all the rerolls. We will have more than enough levels later on to even just banish multiple weapons. So, there we go. The moment I click, I walk towards the enemies and make sure that they are attacked. It's very important to reset the attacks of the Holy Wand. Like, as you see, sometimes it attacks a very weird enemy, and by moving around you make it more likely that it resets since you get closer to the enemy that you want to kill. Make sure that there's a large area cleared. I advise to pretty much have a line down here that you can move left and right, and you will need one to the top here that you can go to the vacuum later on. Now, while Leda is strong enough to even kill the Reaper at level 3 or 4, I advise against it since the main problem will be the second Reaper that spawns. Just keep doing this until you notice that no more experience is dropped. Don't walk too far, otherwise the experience is out of vision range and that will not count to the total experience needed on the screen that it starts accumulating a red gem. So in case you didn't notice, once there are around 400 to 500 experience gems on the screen, the game will not create another one. Instead, it will pick the one furthest away and put all the future experience into that. And that's how you avoid leveling up in the future. Alright, it looks like the red orb is being generated somewhere. It's outside of the screen, I don't see it, but whenever they walked in, I didn't see experience drop. First of all, why do you want to stay level 2? The Reaper scales with your level. For every single level that you have, he gains 655,000 HP. That's quite a lot, but yes, Leda can kill that. Now the preparation here is to move away when a boss spawns, that he walks on our little platform here that has no experience on it, and then we pick up the chest to get an Empty Tome upgrade. For the highest chance to get to minute 30, you want to have Empty Tome on level 5. Now at 3 minutes the boss spawns, there are chances that the Holy One just bounces around and kills him the moment he spawns or walks in, but usually you always get to a point where he doesn't die. Okay, he just died. Can't change it, it happens, it's fine. Let's ignore it for now since the very first chest is not needed. In fact, there will be quite a few that we will miss, and instead let's talk about the strategy. So we already clarified that Leda is insanely powerful, and even so powerful, he can kill the Reaper at level 3, 4 and even 5. But it makes it a lot more complicated since, well, it takes longer to kill him and the other Reapers will spawn. The best part about him is that there's no positional issues, right? So Clerici has to position above the table. That is not the best way of doing it, but it's the safest way of doing it if you don't know what you're doing. The downsides are we have to clear the experience, and as you can see, I didn't do the perfect job over here, and while I walk through here at the end, it might even happen that I level up. Now I will do this right before we hit 30 minutes. I will most likely die once, but it's fine. You also need to pick up the chests drop from the bosses to get Empty Tome maxed out. If you do it right and if you get used to it, it definitely works, but this can be quite frustrating. You also need the Arcana Slash, which means you have to keep track where the Arcana are dropped. Your goal is pretty much to get to minute 30, evolve your weapons, then get Slash and just start hammering on the Reaper. If you lose a revival before minute 30, there's a very high chance it's just over. Since you have to pick up the vacuum and it takes a... okay. That's the problem of talking. I needed to move over here, and he would have just died on the platform here. That's my mistake. There are more bosses to come. Now let's talk about the biggest issue, the Stalker. At 8 and 12 minutes there's a 30% chance that a Stalker spawns and you can't do anything against him, he will kill you. However, luck decreases the chance and you will see a calculation somewhere on the screen. In total it's reduced down to 41% that he spawns, or in other words 59% that he doesn't spawn. While not amazing, I would say that's an equivalent to the Clerici issues of leveling up, of the Rune Tracer leaving the table and you're exposed to enemies, or just the Reaper walking into a bookshelf and suddenly it takes way too long to get a kill. So just a quick summary, which one is better, Clerici or Leda? Clerici is definitely a lot easier in regards of laziness, right? You don't have anything to do, however it hurts a lot if you fail to do the actual Reaper kill, since this is where a lot of RNG is involved. With Leda, it's quite annoying if you finally get a run going and at 8 or 12 minutes you see the Stalker appear, or you're just very unlucky with the chest. However, once you make it to 30 minutes, it's pretty much guaranteed. That's a very bad positioning, since the Holy Wand hitting here will most likely kill him, but I will try to move up to the left side here. And, I would say that's good enough. Yeah, I will pick this up, that's fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. There's a very high chance that you get a triple chest. In fact, the chance is 13%. I mean, it's not very high, but you'll pick up multiple chests. And you only need one triple chest and one basic chest to max out the empty tome. So let's just wait until the next boss spawns at 9 minutes. Talking about that, here's a table of all the bosses that will spawn in the game. There's no reason to worry, the bad wave that will kill you eventually starts spawning at 17 minutes, so up until then you can get the empty tome up, and the higher level your empty tome is, the further you will be able to go in the game. And later on there are some bosses that are super easy to get the chests from, since there's a lot that spawned on the stage, and they take all the focus, so you can just focus on getting the boss down. Hitting 11 minutes, I recommend you just taking a screenshot. In my case it's quite simple, since all the chests are around me and only one is to the top left here. It's important since this is the Arcana chest, and I will just pause the moment we hit 11 minutes and look if I see something appear on the screen. Over there's the bed, and this is the Arcana bed. Now I don't care too much that it actually comes close, however, you know, it's also not bad to pick it up already and know where you are in the game. So same stuff, stutter movement to the side, there's no red gem because of the stutter movement, and now I will pick up the Arcana. As we can see, I already have Slash, that means I'm safe to go. If you don't get Slash offered, just take Awake, and if you don't get Slash or Awake offered, just take something that is reasonable, like the bouncing here. However, never take Duration, it will mess up the freeze time by a lot. The next and last chest, more or less, will spawn at 16 minutes. That is the last chance you will have to get an upgrade before the heavy hitters start spawning. Alright, there we go, and pause. So this should be, I think one of these big green guys is the boss. I don't see any... Oh no, that's Triton. Or Triton. Okay, let's walk down, so the enemies down here get hit. There we go. Okay, this should... Oh yeah, this is already more than enough. It's just a single chest, okay. So now Empty Tome is level 3, and it's not amazing. So what I'll do now is I'll position myself over here, and if I notice that I take too much damage, then I will walk through the experience here and just pick up the chest. Even on Empty Tome level 5 you sometimes might take damage, and then you have to just wiggle up and down to make sure that your Holy Wand re-triggers again or tries to find a new enemy. You can wiggle up and down, left and right, stuff like this. This will make it a lot more likely that you kill all the enemies coming in. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. As I said, it's not amazing, but the next boss will spawn very soon, and yeah, well, he spawned on the bottom right and instantly died. That's amazing. Again, great luck run. And where's the boss? Okay, let's pause. I need to see him. Top. Oh, it's a slow one. Okay, this one will be very unlikely that he doesn't die before he gets here. Let's just hope. Okay, well, actually there are so many enemies. Yeah, that was kind of easy. So let me just walk through. I immediately want... Amazing. Yes, that means only 2 levels, and even a triple chest would have done it. Every single chest that I picked up so far had a 13% chance to be a triple chest. At this point, it's actually more unlikely that you'll not get one. There's nothing left to do. Sometimes you might need to wiggle around, especially what's going on right now is I didn't have the Empty Tome 5 when it was already needed, so too many enemies spawned. Okay, 21 minutes is hit. This is where it becomes a lot easier. There's, by the way, our next Arcana. I will just walk over here, and we know the arcana chest is here. In case we would need this, you could just walk over here and grab it. Now, should you grab this chest the moment you hit 30 minutes to get a gamble for the Awake Arcana? Personally speaking, I don't recommend it. If you die on your way to the top there, you can just pick it up and look for it. However, if you open it and you don't get the Awake Arcana, you just wasted a ton of time to get over here to get to the vacuum, right? It's not worth it. So now I will position myself towards the vacuum. This is already enough. And here I will just be able to walk through. With 3 experience gems, this is not enough. And do you see there's the next big boy? I could just easily get the chest. In fact, I did. But I don't want to pick that up. So I'm positioning myself here. And then I will walk through the moment the Reaper spawns pretty much here. I will only pick up 2 experience gems and make my way to the vacuum. Note to myself, don't tell people to wiggle around, then go edit your videos and miss that you take a ton of damage. This could have all been avoided. It's fine, it's fine. At 28 minutes, you just have to clear the enemies. Okay, keep wiggling around. You just have to clear the enemies and then you're set. This is pretty much the last milestone to achieve, the 27-minute wave. And as you can see, there's nothing going on anymore. Now it's just chilly-milly. So what I'm looking for right now is I will wait until, I would say, 29:57. Maybe even a bit earlier. And then I will walk up and get the... There we go. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. And pick it up, pick it up. Perfect. So it's already 30. As you can see, the enemies just all exploded. This was a perfect timing. Just banish common weapons. Something that you see often, just get rid of it. You get more than enough levels that you don't need them. However, something that is very important. Leda has a bug with his hitbox where sometimes he just doesn't get the experience that is flying towards him. So make sure that you press down S when you notice that you don't level up anymore. Laurel, this is what you're looking for mostly. This is the most important one. Okay, there we have another Laurel. Actually, no, there's Razor. Perfect. You will just see a build on the screen, by the way. So, yeah. Banish Fire Wand. Those are both rare-ish. I guess Rune Tracer is common enough. Let's ban it. Now, I always advise to not max out a weapon, just that it keeps showing up. Like in cases like this, I have to reroll, right? And the more you max out, the more likely it becomes that you get something offered that you don't want to have. Put a focus on Clock Lancet and Laurel, just in case you don't pick up experience anymore, the issue that I mentioned before. Just that it's maxed out and you don't randomly die. One tip, if you're on controller, you can just hold down where you want to move. However, on keyboard this is a lot more complicated. The way it works is, you have to press spacebar to confirm what you want to have. Then you click left click right after this and hold it down, don't let go, okay? Let's try this. That didn't work. There we go. This is the joypad. You can enable this in the options. You should do this before you get into your run. Just escape options, enable joystick or something like this. Pull it down, you can already do this, and you'll see my character moves down. And this is a very, very funny interaction in the game. I actually don't need the health, whatever. So I know the Arcana is over here, right? And we are getting there closer and closer and closer. And now you might have noticed the chest just disappeared. And now I walk over here. Oh, I missed the chest. There we go. Did you see the chest disappeared again? Yes, I'm picking up the chests while I'm moving. This is actually quite hilarious. So the last thing that I want to do is I have 3 chests right now. One is the Arcana. 2 of them will give me evolutions. And since I don't have Candelabra Door, I will not evolve the axe. That is in fact not wanted. I will move over here to the wall. Okay, it's done now. I will move over to the wall later on, so the new Reaper that will spawn has a very high chance that he gets stuck on the wall. There's the last Arcana. And I will pick Awake, obviously. In your case, just don't pick the duration. And there's the last chest, there we go. And that is the knife. So I will walk over here and he should jump over in a second and start nearly breaking the shield. Come on. There we go. Move over again and shoot at him again. And there he's frozen on top of me. Now it's pretty much just waiting and hoping that the other Reaper doesn't get inside of me. The timing on the Clock Lancet is actually quite good. There might be ways to improve this. For example, you could lose 1 level of the Spellbinder power-up, But you might notice it's almost perfect. However, the problem is like here, it just didn't fit. And now it becomes a bit more complicated where he might unfreeze and land on top of you. Ooh, this is not good. Okay, he got through. It's not a big deal. This Reaper here should die very, very soon. And there we go. 1.5 minutes in, he is dead. There's no reason to continue. And there we go. Here you can see the damage and we can actually calculate what did what. This one 700,000 out of 1.3 million. This one combined around 500k. However, they were also hitting the second Reaper, so it's a bit less. And the rest was done by Holy Wand. I hope you will succeed with the strategy, but if it doesn't work out, I also have the guides for Toasty and for Clerici linked. Have fun.